their Serb godfather. But a few months before the war, the godfather revealed his dark side when he made an ominous prophecy. It was after one too many with his Albanian workmates, the brothers of Rasim Betusha.
Last year in September, Dimitri threatened my brother that if just one Serb was harmed, 100 Albanians would die. And he never said sorry after that. I told my brothers, be careful. Don't worry, they said. He was drunk. But as we say, from the bottle comes the truth, and he was very fond of the bottle.
Making a drunken threat is one thing. Carrying it out to the last man is another. Another video, another discovery. This party, held in '91, was staged to honour the young braves of the village volunteering to fight for Slobodan Milosevic. It was Serbs only. Sava Nikolic in yellow on the right is another of our suspects caught in the frame. The date on this video, September '91, is all important. This is the time the idea of a tolerant Yugoslavia died. In '91, Milosevic broke the fragile bonds that held the people of Yugoslavia together. He provoked a war, first with Croatia and then Bosnia. His aim was Serb supremacy. This year, Milosevic ordered the purging of the Kosovar Albanians. He sanctioned the Serbs to murder their neighbours in Little Krusha. This spring, Milosevic stepped up the Serb repression of Kosovo's Albanian majority. In March, in defence of the Albanians, NATO attacked. It was the excuse Milosevic had been waiting for. Operation Horseshoe. Its purpose, to terrify nearly 2 million Albanians out of Kosovo. 7 hours and 40 minutes after the NATO attack, Serb tanks rolled up this, the Prizren Jakova road. Village after village was razed, everything of value looted. Then the executioners got to work. The village of Selin, more than 100 dead. Bela Stverka, 54 dead. Greater Krusha, 40 dead. The tanks entered Little Krusha at 3:40 AM, March the 25th. We took some of the villagers back to where they'd been to compile the countdown to murder. Our witnesses, Mehmet Krasniqi, who survived the Hayban murders. Bayram Zulfiyu, another man left for dead. Lutfi Ramadani, a third survivor. He lost 2 sons, as did his workmate Shamil. Shpresta Shehu, the village schoolteacher. Her cousin, Lumnia Shehu. When dawn broke on the second day of the war, the villagers were surrounded not only by the Yugoslav army, they were stunned to discover their Serb neighbours were in on the operation too. The roundup took place in this, the Betusha's field. The selection began. Men to the right, women to the left. Here the damned chose the doomed.
Then the police ordered the children to march forward. One of them was giving orders. You, out of the line. His mother begged, please don't. He's only a child, only 12 years of age. The policeman said, shut up or I'll kill you.
And what was the precise role of their Serb neighbours?
Dimitri and Rada were over there. They both came from Rada's house. They had automatic weapons on their shoulders. Sava Nikolic was over there with Sveta Tasic. The women begged them to release the men. The Serb villagers turned their backs on us to make sure we wouldn't recognize their faces, but we recognized them all.
They marched us with our hands behind our heads to Rasim Batusha's barn. As we went down the path, I turned my head and saw 5 men. Dimitri Nikolic, Zvezdan Nikolic, Sava Nikolic, Sveta Tasic and Momchilo Nikolic. They were all in militia uniform and armed.
When they got to the hay barn, the chosen were ordered to face the wall with their hands behind their heads. The men couldn't see what was happening, but they could hear.
A policeman they called Joko arrived. Joko came over to the barn with a machine gun.
One of the Serbs asked him, "Where have you been? You're late." He replied, "Don't worry, it will only take 2 minutes." He immediately loaded his machine gun. He didn't say a word to us. Then he pulled the trigger.
We heard some shooting. The women began to scream in terror. They are killing our men and children.
I turned my head very slowly and saw bodies scattered all around the barn. They shot at me and the bullet whistled close to my ear. I heard them saying in Serb, "Good, good."
There was blood all over the place, and you could actually hear it spurting from the bodies. Men who'd been wounded waved their hands in agony.
Then he checked and killed the survivors one by one. Shortly afterwards, they set fire to the bodies.
But there were still men alive in the burning barn.
Some of the men whose bodies were burning screamed in pain. "Oh, please, God, please. Help us, God, help us." But there was no hope for them.
Bayram was lying underneath 2 teenage boys, Flamur Shahu and Enver Batusha.